Hi, I'm Joe Redington Sr., also known as father of the Iditarod. I was born in Kingfisher, Oklahoma, towards the end of World War I. I lived in Oklahoma with my father and brother until I was 6 years old. My father was a farmer, rancher, and oil field worker. When I was 10, me, my dad, and brother joined a group of Irish gypsies that traveled throughout the central area of the U.S. We were in that group for 2 years. In 1940, I enlisted in the U.S. Army. I joined the 6th Field Artillery. The 6th Field Artillery is horse artillery located at Fort Hoyle, Maryland. During World War II, I was transferred to Fort Sill, Oklahoma, and joined the Infantry and Field Artillery Jump School. I met and knew Ernie Pyle. I returned to Okinawa on December 6, 1945, and was discharged at Fort Dix, New Jersey, after almost 6 years in service. I went back to Kingersville, Penna, and began preparing for a trip to Alaska. I sold jeeps and farm machinery to help raise money for the trip. My Army background helped me get my first job. I obtained a special job with the U.S. Air Force 5039th Maintenance and Supply Group, commonly known as Rescue and Reclamation, whose main concern was the recovery of wrecked aircraft and the rescue of the service personnel, the bringing out of their remains. During rescue work, I used teams of 20 or 30 big huskies. Most of the dogs weighed between 75 and 100 pounds and could go all day at a steady trot, pulling sled and freight. I also mushed my dog teams to remote sites along the dew line in the Arctic. Me and my family moved to Flathorn Lake along the old Iditarod Trail and established a new homestead and guiding service. For the first 2 years, we lived in a tent until our log house was built. It ended up being 70 feet long. By this time, I had my big game license and my pilot's license and was busy building up a new business, but I still used the dog teams. My kennel now housed 270 dogs. Everything I needed for building and all supplies had been hauled into Flathorn by dog team. To raise funds for the race, I donated an acre of land to Flathorn Lake to the cause. The land was subdivided into lots 1 foot square, with the deed to the lot got a certificate of ownership. I arrived at Nick, Alaska on June 2nd, 1948, with not a lot of money and high hopes. I left my home in May. Fate stepped in just after I crossed into Alaska. Someone grouped me a sled dog pup. I thought it was a sign that I should start a career. I headed to Nick to check on homestead land. The filing fee was $13. I only had 5. On my second day, I shot a bear to eat. Also, the 3 old-timers bought me a bunch of potatoes and some canned goods. I will never forget their kindness, and in turn, I helped others. Soon, I had my cabin built, and I could acquire more dog sleds. I started Nick Kennels and
1948, and it's still going. It is second year in Alaska, and I had 40 dogs. And I loved dogs that my whole life. In 1997, I took place in the 25th anniversary Iditarod race after celebrating my 80th birthday. And I passed away in June of 1999 from cancer and was buried in Wasilla in my favorite dog sled in a special made vault.